So let's talk a little bit about what it looks like if CV was something that was of interest to you and you thought maybe that could add value to your organization. So there's really four steps when it comes to identifying CV projects. The first one of those is to really start by looking at where you have low hanging fruit. So and by low hanging fruit, I mean cameras already in place. So as you're looking at your facilities and your different environments, if you were to just walk around and stand underneath any one of the cameras that you already have in place and just look around, what would you see? And what would be of interest to you from an analytics and a data perspective to know? So, what does that look like? What's the business data that you're not capturing today that you could be capturing? Looking at the activities that are taking place, either machines that are doing something or people that are doing something. And where do you have security concerns or performance concerns that you would like to kind of address? Those are the four easy ways. Now, again, you can kind of come back and you'll get a copy of a recording of this webinar. You can come back and look at the supply chain kind of visualization of all the different areas that you could potentially look at. That's another great way to get some inspiration as to how CV might be able to fit into your organization. Now, we've talked about different organizations and industries. We also, where they're kind of building their own apps and they're coming up with their own use cases. But we hear very common use cases over and over again, which led Kibsi to create instant apps. And these instant apps are, for lack of a better way to describe them, they're kind of a plug and play way to solve very specific, very common issues or challenges that organizations face. So, for example, forklift safety. We know what a forklift looks like. We know what kinds of safety issues people are looking for. You answer a few questions, and boom, you've got a forklift safety monitor app. So, these types of instant apps are things that we already have in place and that we can work with organizations to very quickly get those up and running. So there's ways to even get your fast Kibsi CV project happening even faster with instant apps. So the question kind of ends with this. If you could use your cameras to their fullest potential and you could turn those videos into actionable insights and alerts, what problems would you solve? Like, how would you change or transform your business? The key thing here is that, if you want to talk to an expert, use the QR code that you see on the screen, and we'll get you connected up with an expert who can answer your questions. Tolga, the first question is, can Kibsi be used to monitor visual screens or equipment statuses? So using computer vision for watching monitors, gauges, things like that?
Yeah, I think I mentioned briefly, monitoring equipment's really important. And so we can monitor equipment either like physically by its movements. Is it moving? Is this thing up or down? Is this thing, in position A or B? But also if there's old school gauges, either digital gauges or analog gauges or, pressure gauges, we can read those gauges. And all of a sudden you've digitized a machine that is not connected. You've made it an IoT machine without changing it, without investing in new equipment, without having to work with the manufacturer of that equipment for a potentially expensive overhaul. You just aim a camera at it.
Perfect. Okay. And then we've also have a question about quality control. So how does Kibsi know what my product should look like for quality control?
Yeah, Kibsi, we could train models. So for quality control, we'll train custom models, right? As part of working with you, we will develop a custom model that can understand what good and bad looks like for your product. And then, given enough samples of images, the model learns, oh, that one doesn't look like the other ones. There's something wrong with that one. And then that can be used either in real time with like a diverter to push something off a line. It can be used to alert somebody via more kind of text message, email type situation, or it could be used to just track metrics.
Cool. And then the last question, and then we'll answer any other questions that you want to submit. We'll answer those after the webinar. So the last question is, what kind of infrastructure is needed to implement a computer vision solution like Kibsi?
Yeah, this is actually where I think we have really good news, right? I started at the beginning saying I think CV or vision is an easy place to start in AI. And it's because you don't need much. You need the cameras and you need some connectivity to the Kibsi platform. There's nothing else needed. And so we handle all the streaming from the cameras, all the AI, all the inference, all the data. All you need is ordinary sort of security camera type cameras and some internet connectivity.
There you go. And that is a great way to wrap up, saying that it's really easy. And of course, Tolga, I want to thank you again for your time. I know that you're really busy, so I appreciate you taking time to support this webinar. And thank you all for attending. We really appreciate you taking time, and I hope that you found it valuable and that you learned about computer vision and you have some great ideas of how computer vision can transform your business. And of course, if you want some support with that, or if you want to talk to a CV expert, please, by all means, drop us a note. Either use the QR code on the screen, or you're also welcome just to go to kibsi.com and you can use our contact us form there. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all attending, and have a wonderful day.